Hi, Smile Thread Songbird in New York City. When I did the part 1 and part 2 of the videos, I forgot to mention that I took this picture because I was so amazed that these men were up there in the freezing cold working, and the wind was blowing, and and they were very brave, and I just so admired them. So that's why I took their pictures. See what else? The baby clothes. The only reason I could afford baby clothes from Macy's because I live on a fixed income on a Social Security retirement pension was because Macy's had a great sales. Like one was 70% off and some were 40% off, and so it was such a bargain. They were bargains, and that's why I could afford them. And they're good quality clothes. My once friend Linda told me that Macy's have great sales. She has a credit card there. The girl asked me if I wanted to apply for a credit card. I said, there's no way I'm going to get a credit card because I have bad credit. And she said, well, we can try. So she tried, and sure enough, I was rejected. But she said they have a program where you can add to your card, to a card, by adding your purchases whenever you purchase something. Would I like that program? And I said, sure. And then they give you money back, after you've accumulated and some. And this is Sneezy the Greasy. That's my granddaughter, Jandara Ranzinger. TJ was having trouble drawing a pretty girl. He could draw all this hideousness, but he was having a trouble drawing. So I gave him Jandara's picture, and he did this lovely. It's a beautiful little girl. And so as Pran Kumar Sharma, the Disney of India, I conceived the characters and storyline and the title. And then Robin Birdsong, who was Dr. Seuss, wrote the book. And T.J. Robshaw, who was my son in a past life, did the painstaking, look at the detail that he put in his book. Painstaking details in his book. So it's a book done by geniuses, and Jessica was raving about it yesterday. She read it. So was Sheila, the art director. So if you want to get the book for your grandchildren or your children, it's at Amazon.com, and it's called Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. Okay. And Kay from Ghana, I don't have his picture, was and he was my son in a past life. He told me with glee that Dwayne Reed Walgreens on 8th Avenue between 16th and 17th Street were having a sale today and tomorrow where you get 25% off on any products you buy that are not on sale. So none of what I bought DiGiorno meatless pizza, frozen. I bought mandarin orange slices for $1. They're delicious. Chobani fruit on the bottom, blueberry yogurt, which is healthy and delicious, and Welch's fruit snacks candy. And they were all delicious. Everything was delicious. And I got pictures back that I had ordered ahead for. And that I didn't get anything off of now because they'd already given me 30% off. So that's my story. Yeah, okay. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say, that I invited Raphael and Tarek, and they were sitting on the steps, and I invited them to the vegetarian group, and they came. So you got a movie star, a dinosaur, he was Tyrannosaurus Rex, and a baboon. I don't see Juan's picture, but he was there, I know, because I saw him. So they all came, and they all enjoyed the food. Okay, now I'll start reading what I've written for the video. The video is called Part 3, Babies Born to Suffer for U.S. Heavenly Life. Mainstreaming blues to you. He, Michael John Spear, had been Frank Lloyd Wright, the genius architect who, as Army engineer great master Sarwan Singh, had a well dug so his wife, Eve Mary Miles Red Birdsong, Miles Red Songbird, D. Michelle Birdsong, D. Michelle Spear, wouldn't have to continue schlepping water on her head with the other ladies from the Bayous River into the Dara. And Great Master built up the Dara. Good people. See, I had a picture of it. Where's the picture? Oh, there's this. You see the long beard? That's Great Master. And this is a book about the Dara that Govinda Singh had created, with the beauty of it and how they did it, so that we in America, the new heaven on earth, can know how to do it. Let me just show you some of the detail they put in the book. Oops. You see they're building things, and all you have to do is have integrity about yourself and a willingness to do a good job, and you can have a heaven on earth, because this book, Equilibrium of Love, which you can get at Amazon.com, shows exactly how they did it and how they're doing it, because it's still there. And it's so impressive. I tore these pages out of the book. There's more in the book. I just wanted to show you a sampling of it. Okay. Let me finish. Whew. The only reason I can do this video is because Robin went to satsang. And I said to myself, if she can go to satsang, I know she's exhausted. And then I can, even though I'm exhausted, do this video with these 3 parts. After I sat here and wrote them. Okay, so the Great Master created, designed the Dara, built up the Dara. Seth Ranzinger, Swamiji, founded the Dara. He's the one who did the meditation 17 hours a day, for 17 years rather, to purify the Dara from the demons and devils that were there. And then came his disciple Babaji. He appointed him master. And then Babaji appointed Great Master master. And then Great Master appointed Jagat Singh, who is now Singh Birdsong. And Jagat Singh appointed Charan Singh, who is now Giancarlo Arturo, the baby in my womb. And then Charan Singh appointed his nephew, Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh. Actually, Charan Singh was Jesus Christ, 20th century. And he got into Govinda Singh, making Govinda Singh Jesus Christ, 21st century. See how they worked? I saw him ease down into Govinda Singh. I saw it with my own eyes, remote viewing. So that's how we happen how. There's no happen to it. That's how we have Jesus Christ. Where is he? Here he is. Govinda Singh. Jesus Christ, 21st century. And are we blessed to have him? Okay, what else? Step into the Dara, Great Master built up the Dara. Good people came to the Dara, became disciples, anxious to follow. Great Master back to heaven. Perfect peace, bliss. Ignorance is bliss, taught me my mother frog. Great Master's wife, me, great-granddaughter of Sally Kendricks, who had passed down the DNA. Turn a blind eye to your husband's infidelities. Turned a blind eye. I turned, when I was Great Master's wife, turned a blind eye to Great Master having sexual relations with little boys at the Dara. 12th grade, F is in frog, grade for a failing, being a pedophile. That's what the Great Master gets. And Mama Sally Kendricks, who turned a blind eye to her daughter, Mama Mill, being sexually abused. I can even it out because Charan Singh set up an eye clinic to cure the blind eyes of elderly poor there in India every year. And they never had a disappointing outcome to the operation because they had one of the world's finest surgeons to volunteer to come there and operate on those elderly people's cataracts and remove them from their eyes so they could see again. So Mama Sally's turning a blind eye inspired Charan Singh to create an eye camp. So every time they did an operation, and they were all successful operations, they went to Mama Sally's credit. See, so that's how her turning a blind eye, because she did not know what to do when her husband was molesting her child, because she didn't know how to take care of herself. It was in the old days before women, had worked outside the home. So she never heard of such, and she didn't know how to handle it. So she let herself go blind. So she erased her own bad karma when she did that for neglecting her child. You could say she neglected her child. That's what her child thinks anyway. But Mama Sally's been cleared. Okay, so, where am I? I did that. He receives an A. A great master got an F for being a pedophile and a homosexual. But he received an A for writing volumes of the philosophy of love. Or what's the philosophy of the masters? Yeah, I think it's called the philosophy of the masters volumes. As handed down from Eve, Cain, Adam, Michael Bublé, the ape, King Kong, and Fay Ray, Eve. Number 1, Adam, self-willed, self-created. Number 2, Adam became self-conscious at the level of being an ape instead of waiting to become human. Number 3, it was a mistake. No one's fault, sang Michael Bublé, explaining. It's no one's fault. Number 4, it's a start. Saint, talk and share art. Saint, art. Oh, over here's the talk and share art. Okay. I was wondering where that was. Wrote Shakespeare. It's a start. Eve de Michel Berton was Shakespeare. Repent. Repent this. Repent this. Kingdom of heart is at hand. Heart. The letters change around, spell earth. E-A-R-T-H. And tear, T-E-A-R, tear, H for heaven, tear heaven. And then over here, hand, Hans Christian Andersen. Mild Red Michelle Anderson, Mild Red Songbird. Okay, repent, mean write again. The history, H-I-S for history, the history. Kin, K-I-N, in Sodom, and Gomorrah. What is that word? Genesis, right. Oh, I get it. Repent Genesis, the history in Genesis. Yeah, that's what I've done. Instead of Eve being this terrible person that bit out of an apple and all that story, what really happened was Adam, maybe I spelled it out here. Let me keep reading. Mainstream enclosed to use, U.S., page 14. Number 5, Adam cried out to the universe for a distraction after he created himself. Remember I said that earlier? Number 6, Eve heard his piteous cries. Number 7, she left her comfort zone, the ocean of bliss, the mist of constant kiss, like excreting a stream of warm piss in heaven. Number 8, those she left behind, though not individualized, saying, "What am I supposed to do without you? Now that I've been loving you so long, what am I supposed to do without you? How am I supposed to carry on?" Michael Baldwin, projection of Jesus Christ, Son of the Son, the good Lord Almighty, sang that song. Number 9, Eve felt guilty of abandoning her family. Edwin Birdsong gets a pass for abandoning her family. He was paying Eve, the Michelle Birdsong, back for choosing to feel guilty for wanting to help a panicky, lost, lone soul on the earth. In other words, Eve really didn't have any reason to feel guilty because she was doing a good thing. She was going to help somebody in distress. But she did feel guilty, so she had to pay. She had to be punished. And Edwin did it when he walked out on her and the kids. Eve gets an A for like, an RN, comforting a distressed soul. Distressed. Daughter, Isaac's saint, her energy became Secret Santa, Santa's rarely mentioned supportive wife, Eve, Edwin, the Michelle Birdsong. Edwin did the same thing after I helped set him up as a person who makes money in music. He rarely mentioned me. He never mentioned me that I had anything to do with him. But he told me once on the phone in secret. He thought it was a secret that if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be where he was. But then, since he's left his body, called died, he told me to do what I had to do to take my proper credit. Because he didn't care. He wasn't in that body. It wasn't going to hurt him no matter what I said. And he trusted me to say the truth. Because he told me once I was hung up on truth. So he knows that I'm a truthful person. So let me continue. Edwin Birdsong was distressed, rudderless, when he met the Michelle Anderson. She encouraged him enthusiastically. He wrote a song about her, which he called "I Love You, Michelle, Yeah, Baby." You can see the video of it at Michelle Birdsong YouTube channel. At one point in the video, it looks like she's being mean to him. You can misunderstand the meaning of her facial expression and body language, just like the fake news establishment media misunderstood the first release the first release of the video of the Covington boys, where the boy was being threatened with the guy playing a drum up in his face. But he stood there. He's a Christian, and he said he wasn't going to give in to fear. So he stood there very bravely and even smiled at the man to let him know, I'm not going to fall for your trick and get angry with you. I'm not going to let anything make me violent. So the media acted like that boy had started the confrontation, that their group had started the confrontation because they wore Make America Great Again hats. And the media is against making America great again. They want to destroy America as a sovereign nation, as a heaven on earth, and make it a third world hellhole, so that the UN can and the globalists can take over and depopulate it, kill the people, most of the people. So because they're paranoid, they're crazed with fear that the people are going to take their money away from them because the people outnumber them, you see. Okay, so let's finish this. Understood the first release, Mild Red Doctor, Sigmund Freud. Mild red was Dr. Sigmund Freud. Mild red was Dr. Fritz Perls, the German psychiatrist. Mild red was the wife of Dr. Carl Jung, the psychiatrist who is now Jordan B. Peterson. It's called Jung and Mohammed. So actually, it was their wedding day on the video I'm talking about, the I Love You, Michelle, Yeah, Baby video. It was Edwin and Michelle's wedding day, and Edwin had stayed out late the night before, leaving her wondering if he was dead or alive, if he didn't want her to become his bride. She was wondering, doesn't he want to marry me? Over here, wondering. Their wedding rings were puzzle rings. Muzzle yourself if you're tempted to eat meat and not beans. Okay. Edwin gets an F for torturing his fiancée. She forgave him, for which she gets an A. Gets decoded. Girl, E.T., meaning extraterrestrial. Talking. T for talk, S for share. Talk and share. Johanna Vagoda said Edwin didn't mean any harm. Edwin gets an F for wanting the Michelle to become part of his harem. After he had a baby by a girl while he was married to me, a black Muslim groupie, he said, I said, well, you have to get rid of her. I wasn't going to divorce him because he had cheated on me and made a baby. And he said, she can't. I said, the girl's got to go. And he said, no, she's going to help me with my career. So that's why I divorced him. I wasn't going to become part of a threesome, a harem. What is the meaning of harem? Harem. Noun. The part of a Muslim palace or house reserved, and they had sex in my house, in my bed too. Reserved for when I was in California, comforting his newly widowed mother with my children. That's what they were doing in New York. Jenny Psalm told me that. It's a house reserved for the residence of women. The women in a Muslim household, including the mother, sisters, wives, concubines, daughters, entertainers, and servants. Animal behavior. A harem is animal behavior, and I wasn't going to become an animal. After all the work I put into him, I should be lowered to the status of an animal because he and his groupie wanted to be animals. No. So, and Charan Singh said, divorce can be the sign of spiritual advance. So he was telling me that I'm more spiritually advanced than Edwin and his woman, the groupie woman. Muslims are dinosaurs. She was a Muslim, a black Muslim. Dinosaurs decoded. Daughter, that's Eve, that's me. Daughter, Isaac's in order. No, Astara yet. Knows A.U. Radhasamy. So Ostara knows that I'm a Radhasamy, a lord of my soul. So that gives her some hope. A.U. her add. Heaven has as mild red order. I am Ma. Mother of the earth, Eve. Yeah. Evangeline. Eve very vibrant vibration. Okay, now, Gamel is a Muslim. Eve's husband from the past life is a gentleman, perfect counterman at 8th Avenue Gourmet Deli, misspelled Gourmet Deli, 8th Avenue between 16th and 17th Street in Manhattan. Gamel gets an A. Okay. Tarek is Tyrannosaurus Rex, who evolved to active, intelligent American human. So's his brother Gibi, twin brothers of Eve. They get an A. Gibi and Tarek's parents get an A. They're productive Americans, I think. I know they're productive. I think they're Americans. Gibi was, where am I? A fan of Edwin's. So became Tarek. I told Tarek Edwin's masterpiece, that what it is was Edwin's masterpiece. He gets an A. Edwin gets an A for the highest quality product, according to me, his partner, and according to WBLS, WBI, WLIB, just jockey friend, Gary Bird. Okay, and I get an A for my part in the album What It Is, which I did his hair, which became a national trend, international trend. People all over the world wear plaits now. Edwin later, funk material had been sampled by Daft Punk, De La Soul, hip hop trio, Mary J. Blige, Kanye West. They won a Grammy. That's Edwin, and he won a Grammy for the song Stronger, Citron, Guy Energy. Snoopy, the dopest dog, he's gonna give his child dope. His brain's up in smoke. Some OK Energy, whose path is Flight of the Bumblebee. Song is a song by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. What do we got here? Edwin was Bach. He was over in Berlin, but he was dope smoking, and it took his music after me lower. When they go lower, kick 'em, said Eric Holder. Excuse me while I kiss the sky, sang former paratrooper, one who's trained to jump out of planes into enemy territory. Jazz musician Jimi Hendrix, who ventured into psychedelics to attract a wider audience. He was the greatest instrumentalist in the history of rock music. Jimi Hendrix sing bird song Mozart. And he was George Gershwin. And he was St. Jagat Singh. And he was King Menelaus, King Arthur, King Charlemagne. And now he's been appointed king of the world. That's Sing bird song. It's the Miles Red Songbird in New York City, signing off. Until next time. So long.